Greetings, everyone present. My name is Ajmal Sheik. I am the local director of the local committee at IAAS, lovely professional university, Punjab, India. So, joining me today is Mr. Tangimul Islam, the one and only OneHealth director of IAAS World. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Tangimul Islam has been the national director of IAAS Bangladesh for the period 2019 to 2020. Currently, he is serving as the director at One Health at IAAS World. Thank you for joining again. And thank you for taking your precious time to have a discussion with us. So, Anjumul Islam, could you tell us about the concept of One Health?
Thank you so much, the local committee LPU and all the members who are joined today and probably who are going to listen my words or my message. Yeah, greetings all from Yes World, and I'm already mentioned that I'm the one coordinator of Yes World. Well, before introducing something regarding the One Health, I want to say something about IAAS and One Health, so it will be clarified to all. So all you know that IAAS is going with its 66 years, and with its long history, they started the One Health initiative last year. So with the journey of IAAS in the field of One Health, we have only less than 8 months. So that's our initial plan, and all IASers around the world know that IAAS mainly involved with local level through their projects. So in the coming days, IAAS is planning to involve more in One Health and like other projects as well. Okay, I want to give this message because I want to encourage everyone, because One Health, the first time we started everything in virtually, because we all are connected through this virtual network. So it's easy for us to spread and disseminate the knowledge. Okay, well, I'm focused on the One Health, but before that, I want to clarify one thing, that my background is biological science, and I never studied veterinary medicine or One Health in my undergraduate life. So what I learned with my 8 months journey through reading some like research papers or doing some webinars and everything, through which I have gathered the concept of One Health. So before introducing, I think I want to give this disclaimer, because I'm not the exact and the experienced person to describe the One Health issues, but I have the right, as I'm doing this work for the last 8 months. Okay. So in shortly, One Health is simply meaning the one thing is interconnectedness. And this interconnectedness in between three things. One is human, other is animal, and third thing is environment. Well, this concept, it seems it's maybe a new concept. Well, there is a big no. It's not a new concept. It's a age-old concept. But when we are suffered by COVID-19 issues, that thing came into the front line. That One Health, that can be something that can reduce these types of threat that suddenly came to human being, like genetic disease, what we call COVID-19. Yeah, that simply One Health represent this interconnectedness between these three things. Well, I want to give an example, because the last decade, when people particularly focus mainly on science advancement and technology are going on, people understand that, well, my life, my future is entirely not dependent on me. It depends on the surroundings where we live. So if you want to live better, want to make something healthy, sustainable, or regenerative, I should focus on the entire things around me. So the living things around me, not only like animal, also microbes are available in soil, fish are available in water. So everything surrounding us is a part of One Health, and that's target only a health where everything is responsible through the interconnected network, and every system is dependent on others. So as a human being, you should not care about yourself. You should care your environment. You should care about animal. So if everyone health is okay, if you can protect all, you can protect one, and that's One Health.
All right. Thank you very much for explaining that. So, in essence, One Health addresses the interconnectedness between human health, animal health, and the environmental. And you mentioned about the zoonotic diseases. As we all know that COVID-19 is an example of zoonotic disease. Prior to that, we had many other diseases and pandemics such as swine flu, bird flu, the Ebola, uh, the MERS disease in the Arabian countries, and so on. So, yes, I agree with you that it's very important to know the relation between animal, human beings, and the environmental health, because each one is interconnected, and the negative effects or the negative things that goes around in one system will have its unsaid consequences and effect on the other. So thank you for explaining. So could you tell us about the One Health conference? What you intend to see as the outcome? What can we expect from?
Okay, that's a very important question because that's the conference that we are preparing for the last 2 months. As the first initiative, at the beginning, it's a bit challenging for uh, the students and the people who are particularly from the agricultural sciences, because we are just part of One Health, not directly studied or not directly regularly like being research and other things. So yeah, as this initiated this step, so we first think about that how we can, secure our progress, because we started this thing, so we should have something in the ground level. So what I did, that I started the webinar in region level, like Asia Pacific. I did all region, almost all the webinars, but it's still the pending in MENA region. So this year actually, yes, focus on its knowledge dissemination, experience sharing, and networking between the YASers, because we're in a pretty basic level regarding the One Health. One Health is not about just its binding to its definition. It started from like one sector is its food sector, another is zoonosis and like microbial zoonosis or emerging diseases. Another thing can be like a vector-borne disease. Even it is started one side from agriculture, it ends into mental health. So now you can imagine that how it is spread. It's a very huge, like numerous field. Even if you started with antimicrobial resistance, you cannot go to the end. So it's clear that there are lots of scopes are available in that. And one of the principle of One Health is interprofessional collaboration. That means the collaboration among between beyond the border. For example, I'm from biological science. Let's say you are from agricultural science and someone from social science, and even people can from engineering background. Even they want, even if they're interested in One Health, they can join. So that's the biggest thing. One Health, it's an interprofessional collaboration, regardless any boundary, any border. So on that time, we plan that how we can draw the attention people to this as is it's an entire venture. So on that time, we started with celebrating One Health Day last year, November, with jointly collaborate with IPSAF. IPSAF is a pharmaceutical student association. They also dealing with public health, and also at the same time they have a good contribution to One Health. They are very complementary to each other. So as we last year we collaborated with them. So on that time we plan that we can do something with that. So this is something a good example of interprofessional collaboration, because we got around 500 responses for our event. At the same time, we got people from almost all the region, around I think 75 countries. People signed for the. So it's a huge. And now you can ask me that what the expected outcome. But before that, I want to say something about this conference. So it will be 3 days virtual conference. Each day 3 hours conference, started from 6 this month to 8. And it started with the opening ceremony involving other organization as well. What I call like IVSA, Veterinary Student Association, Forestry Student Association. People will from Food and Agriculture Organization opening their speech. We also call from One Health Trust. They're one of the biggest branch in. They started this initiative in Bangalore this year. So yeah, so we also invited them to join our speech. At the same time, we invite like policymaker, veterinarian, and people from different background come and join that. So now you can understand that it's a huge networking opportunities. Also, there is chance to talk with the alumni and other things. So that's entire design of this conference. Now, expected outcome is we feel like that we will have a good, good level of. Our first and foremost task is to make people aware about that. It is something from science that you should care about. Otherwise, in the coming days, our life will be this. For example, like if you are from Asia Pacific people, you should care about the climate change issues. If you are from MENA, like you said, the Middle East respiratory syndrome, Mars too, should care about this. So I believe that this conference will create a collaborative approach. So our conference motto is one of the biggest expected outcome is like collaborate. Then you can work and then you can make the outcome. So this conference can bring a good interaction between all sectors of people, and I hope that something big like a joint project should come up with this conference.
Right. So One Health conference is essentially going to be an interdisciplinary dialogue between students from different branches of science, such as pharmaceuticals, from agriculturals and related sciences, and veterinary, as you said, and the forest, right?
Yes.
So this will help us to learn more about the uh, relatedness between all three and how important they are to understand to better the health of human beings, the health, the environment, and also to prevent future epidemics, pandemics, zoonotic diseases, spread of zoonotic diseases, right? So, would you give a breakdown of the 3-day event? What events and guests the attendees can expect?
Sure. I already give you some idea in the last answer, but I want to again mention some key things. First of all, I would like to give a overview about the common features of this coming conference. So first of all, is speaker presentation. I mentioned that people will join in our conference who are working with, for example, like 3 decades with OneHealth. And as I mentioned, that the student organization will join, professional organization will be joined, and also policymaker will join. So yeah, speaker presentation is very valuable because they will address the theme. And I want to give you some idea about our theme so that it will be easy to understand. Like, so our theme of the conference is our main focus is targeting the youth. So uniting youth for One Health, and we chose this because we want to emphasize the interconnectedness of human, animal, and environmental health, and highlight the need of collaboration and integration to address global health challenges. I already mentioned that our motto is to collaborate, innovate, and transform, and we firmly believe that this conference will do so. And as I said that at the beginning of One Health Days in IAAS, it was a bit challenging because we have limited or proper idea with that. So yeah, so we were focusing on mobilizing a new generation for healthy future because I believe because through this One Health conference it will educate the youth generation. So it will be a good way of mobilizing. So yeah. And about the common feature, I want to mention that speaker presentation, as I already said this, and panel discussion and workshop. One of our key workshop is policy making, focusing on policy. So we most of the time focusing on theoretical knowledge and aspects, but often we identify the problem, but we don't know how to present it in international level, like even conferences or like ASB 58 or COP27 like conference. So yeah, so it will give you an idea how you can present in international level in your agenda and problem. And another thing is another competition is going at the same time. It's also focused on One Health. So art competition, anyone can participate at the same time. So it's an opportunity for other people as well, but it's not connected with One Health conference. Earlier we planned that we included it, but it's later we separated this event. And another part is social media engagement and And another important key feature is that as we invited people from like university professors and different international organizations, so you can get their mail, you can know their research, you can opportunity. Because I in the today afternoon I met with people from FAO, so they will focus on how FAO can contribute, with how FAO contributed in one, and they will also focus some opportunities. So yeah, it's a lot of places and spaces for anyone to explore. And if I can say about the program schedule, so first of all, our main goal and theme and main focus is One Health. We will focus on scientific aspects. And one special thing is we will not only focus on the scientific, but also we consider arts. So our one of session is linking art and science. One artist from Bangalore will be joined with us, and we already had a meeting with him 2 days back. He is planning to tell something about communication, art, and other things. I believe that it is something give a good moment, an engaging moment with all the people, because most of the time our session are very boring, but it's something that represent you how you can think different, how art can help you to something deeply and can feel you. Oh, so yeah, it's a big opportunity to know from artist. And also networking session. In the prior event, it's hard to get the IAAS alumni and IPC alumni, so anyone can have the opportunity. For the second day, we will focus on particularly for food, because we know that our food is coming from agricultural side, agricultural livestock, like a fishery. So nowadays, AMR, I mean, antimicrobial resistance is the biggest concern, because the feed we use in the livestock or in aquaculture and entirely antimicrobial additive. I mean, antibiotic additive. So yeah, it's created resistance. So it is something where we will focus on. Also, zoonotic disease will always be there, but also another thing we'll concern the soil health. That's also important. So policy making part will be there, and we'll focus another important thing, which is called women, gender, and One Health. So it's very important because even women will be joined with us. So we have I think 2 or 3 speakers will be joined. Even one speaker, he is working on Ghana. We're trying to contact with him. Probably he will join with us. So yeah, it will be, I think, very different aspects, because this conference is mainly focusing the awareness and knowledge spreading. So linking art between science, considering gender, considering policy, it cover it. Now we can understand the I think the level, and also the level of interaction, and also the level of organizing this conference. And last but not least, we also show some example on the ground. So in the last day, we are planning to show something as a showcasing from, because yes, Nepal. We found that some people are there working on One Health, and people from IPSF, IVSA, they're also working with One Health issues. Even in Morocco, they started One Health initiative. So yeah, we will show this VCP activities in the front, so people will know we are not working on only in a theoretical aspect, but we have practical aspects too. And another part is, I mentioned in the first, the interprofessional collaboration is our key. So communicating, collaborating, coordinator. This 3 C is always focused by One Health. So we are also involving Yongo, another big organization which is working on UNFCCC. We also involve the IPSA, Forestry Association. So there will be huge chance to build with your connection with the shortest possible time. So I think I talk. I try to give an overview concept of the whole conference. I hope I'm not sure how much clear I am, but I have to try.
Okay, thank you very much. So, in summary, One Health conference will be an interdisciplinary collaboration with different students studying different branches of science. It will be mainly for creating awareness about public health, and so that we can prevent diseases, control its spread, and tackle important issues such as antimicrobial resistance, that is a risk to human and animal health, as well as to showcase and emphasize the importance of showing concern for the environment, right? So, Tangimul Islam, as you said, there are many VCP projects related to One Health going around across the IAAS committees around the world. Could you cite us some example uh, from Indonesia, Nepal, or Morocco that comes under One Health that you would like other IAAS local committees to uh, conduct?
Okay, I think that's a very important question. As I mentioned that this is something yes is initiated and particularly focus on virtual level for the first year. And because we don't have now enough infrastructure and the plan at the beginning, we just started these things rapidly, or what we call just started as a part of what we call like a started something like an experimentation of interprofessional collaboration. So yeah, the past recipes that are existed that were not considered or not selected based on One Health principle. That were selected basis of on like focusing on agriculture and other aspects. But as I already said, that One Health cover many aspects in agricultural science. This project somehow linked to One Health. So in simple way, project related to One Health can be different. It can be a simple survey. For example, people who working in with poultry, or people who raise cattle, they can be under this survey to determine their knowledge, attitude, and experience. This is called one type of model application to the local level to gather participants' view in One Health, how much they care about using antibiotic and how much they care about the health and hygiene aspects. Because if you don't have proper health or hygiene, so you will be suffered by many more chances to spread any disease. For example, leishmaniasis is a disease that can spread it if you live in like poor or like dirty places, and that's also happen in Bangladesh, Nepal, and India. So that's One Health aspects can target and also train the people in local level. That's something an example of One Health. But what yes One Health regarding yes Nepal is doing, Morocco is doing, or IBS is doing, I don't want to disclose here. If people want to know about that, I think it's a better place, because to know more about this in a conference. And then right now we don't have what directly linked One Health project this year, but in the coming year we are actually you can mention that we are planning for project as an outcome of this conference.
Okay. So, could you give us some suggestions on how we can incorporate the principles of One Health into projects that IAS will be conducting on ground?
Yes, of course.
Think of, for example, in countries such as India, Bangladesh, Nepal, Indonesia, the developing countries, we often think that change related to environment, health, and so on should come from the government to the people. It must be a top-down approach, but rather it should be a bottom-up approach. The change must be seen from the people level to the higher up. Uh, we often don't care enough about the environment. We blame it on the government. We see that we don't have enough infrastructure, and you can see that people litter around places. Garbage sites are very common in uh, developing countries. We don't have a proper waste management system. So, in light to that, how can we students of agriculture and other related sciences can take up these important issues, the principles of One Health, and apply in the works that we'll do in such as village concept project with the VC. How can we create more awareness? As you already mentioned, it could be as simple as conducting a survey, interacting with poultry farmers to switch into a more sustainable feed and so on. So could you give us more guidance or guidelines how we can integrate it into our projects?
Okay. For One Health related, if you want to do something in One Health related things, first and foremost thing, you need money, and without that you cannot progress. And it is it is fortunate that lots of funding agencies are available around the world. They say donating several monies, I mean $1 million projects in One Health. So my suggestion would be, if you want to create something, so think something in locally and at the same time through globally, because as lots of donor agencies are available, so you have you have the possibility project in your project. And now you are asking about the so uh, in research or in project level, we can define this is in a two way: project either in field level, or our project either in what do you call, like survey or a local level. Another is lab work. Lab work or field work. You can define this project in a two way. So if you do a field work is something collecting information, analyzing information, raising awareness, or solve people or change people behavior attitude. This is also one kind of work. And regarding this type of work, you need less amount of fund, less amount of thinking and other things. Just you have to go with the people. You have to collect the information. At the same time, you need to identify whether like continuous advocacy with your people. That's my problem. People are using so many antimicrobials and like antibiotic with their food and feed. People are spraying lots of chemical fertilizer. Well, I can try to ship it something whether through organic fertilizer or what we call biochar and other things. Very is a conventional example of what we call the village concept project. That's what you can do, because in IAAS, there is a funding limitation, so you cannot get a greater amount of things. But in research level, if you want to do something in research regarding the molecular microbiology research or gene level research, this is something needs sophisticated structure and funding. What you can do, I would suggest, you can write project and you can took a small part of it project, then you can submit to IAAS. And as a small part of this, you can take the funding from them. I mean them in the IAAS, and you can also show your result. And rest of the part you can submit to like FAO every year, like what do you call provide grant in One Health research. You can reach to WHO, lots of even some available in India also. You can reach up to One Health Trust in Bangalore. It's possible. So yeah, if you want to do in lab level research, you need a huge amount of money, and so you can divide it your task, and a small portion you can ask to yes, and the rest part in other organization, because research is collaboration. So you have to do it in or way. And then you can ask me about like what things we can focus on. Give an example of meat, because like people who are dealing with meat business, they actually don't care about other parts. So it's very common practice that the microbes, particularly the bacteria who are who live in cattle body or in with like cow. So it's cow or like goat. They often spread it to human collect a bacteria and check whether resistant to growth or not. Yes, this type of research, it needs some money, but you can take a small portion from yes and rest from other. So that can be an example for lab level research. But in our VCP, we actually involve mostly with like local level problem solving and other issues. So in the coming days, mostly the funding agency, because if you want to think that this research will be one way of your looking for a startup idea or generate something. So you have to think in both level, and you have to design in a good way. So that can be I think the way we can think. But in conclusion, I want to say so that two types of research are available. It depends on entirely you, which problem and where you live and where you want to focus and how much amount you need to solve this problem. No, so yeah. And also when yes, call, I mean, if yes calling for One Health project, probably they will provide a guideline and through which you can know where which you have to target and how we can submit a project, how we can design a project.
Okay, thank you for your insight. So this will be the first year where we will be initiating this very much needed initiative of One Health. Could you tell us your goal for this initiative to achieve in the coming years ahead?
Um, Honestly, I have a long mission and vision with the yes, inshallah. Particularly, I want to establish this yes One Health in a way so that it will be a benchmark for my successor. And my plan is to, if we can able to complete successfully at this One Health conference jointly with IPSF, so I would propose to make the student organization in a joint consortium. Feel like yes, IBS, IPSF, ISOA, and other organization to come in a joint consortium and make plan for run this conference as an offline level conference, and I take the responsibility of each of the organization each year. So it will be a big gathering and huge chance for multi-professional collaboration between all the student organizations. Let's assume that 7 or 8 organizations make a joint consortium, and each organization will arrange each year. For example, yes, organize this conference in next year in, let us assume, in Asia, and other people come here. So it will become, because yes, main focus of yes is not One Health, because main focus is agriculture and related sciences. Yes, but One Health is a brand, so it's hard for yes to take a lead here. If other organization come here, we can make the joint forces or joint contract so that it will be easy for us. And another my plan is to write project or run proposal for yes to other organization. At the same time, we are also working with One Health think tank in FI. Probably yes members know about this. Food and FI is an independent organization under IAAS, which working on the policy meeting. So One Health think tank and probably this One Health coordinator will work together for looking for big grant research. At the same time, because it's fine, we know that it's good to run in online, but I particularly rather most interested in an offline congress, because we have so many limitations since online, but in offline we can mainly focus on science through which we can make the change. So that's my two mission, vision, whatever you can goal, aims or objective in the coming year, inshallah.
Okay, thank you. I believe that IAAS can make a significant contribution to One Health because agriculture is the driving force human beings' health, as you know. And there is a famous quote by that is attributed to Hippocrates, who is the father of medicine. He says that let food be thy medicine and medicine thy your food. So food should be our medicine rather than taking, drugs to fix your illnesses. So we agriculture students have an important role to play in the human health, the well-being of the environment, as well as the animal health. Thank you. Could you remind us again the theme, the motto, the tagline of the conference, and when the conference will be held, the time and the date, please?
Time and date of the conference, I will remind that, because that's very important. So it will be started from GMT 1 p.m. every day. So we can add 5.5 hours with that. So 6:30 at Indian time, 7 at BD time, and 6:45 in Nepal time every day. Okay. And you asked me to remind me the conference theme, motto, and tagline. So yeah, first of all, I want to remind you the context. I mean, the theme, we actually, when we want to choose the theme, we emphasize the interconnectedness. So, and the youth. So, theme is uniting youth for One Health, integrating these three basic concepts for human well-being. And it is entirely virtual. So, we think that it will enhance the collaboration. This collaboration will lead to innovation, and this innovation will lead to transformation in our society. And as we said that our conference is main target to promoting something, to disseminate this knowledge. So we believe that through this conference we can mobilize, like we can change a new generation for healthy. So that's the entire. You can say that it's the whole conference, and give a last message to the audience, that is this conference is important for you because One Health is a part of citizen science. So if you want to be a good citizen in the coming days, science is a big weapon for us. So as a part of citizen science, you should know about One Health. You should care about this, and if you care about this, your coming days will be good. And if you are in good, so your society, your country will be good, and the whole earth. And what's the basic concept of One Health?
Yes, summarizing from what you said, the theme will be uniting youth for One Health, integrating human, animal, and environmental well-being. And the tagline of the conference will be mobilizing a new generation for a healthy future. As we know that the young generation of today will be the leaders of tomorrow, we young people will be holding important positions of influence and authority in the future. So it's very much important for us to engage in such discussion about environmental health, the well-being of human beings, and health in general. So thank you, Tangimul Islam, for explaining all the concept of One Health so beautifully. I ask everyone to register for the One Health conference, which is to be held on July 6th to July 8th. It will be a 3-day event, and see you all there. Thank you very much. Thank you, Tangimul Islam, for taking your time to explain concepts. Thank you.
To give a big thank to the LPO committee, because they take the initiative and provide me a floor to express my journey with TS World. And I would recommend, and also would like to request all of your members to come and join this conference, because it's valuable, and this type of knowledge only possible through the joint collaboration. For example, like a platform when you are a member of IAAS. And last but not least, if NPU committee need any kinds of assistance, want to discuss anything in the coming days, I'm very happy, and I will be here, no doubt it. And I'm also feel free to contribute any kinds of help regarding anything, any discussion to your committee. So yeah, that's my last message to you.
All right. Thank you very much again. We'll wrap up this session here. Thank you very much. Have a good day, Tanjua.
And have a lovely evening to you.
All right. Bye bye.